Good morning. It's Thursday, April 6th, and this morning we've got live, creepy, beautiful bugs right here in the studio.
And Elion's father is now in the U.S. this morning. We've got the story.
And will today's weather be warm or will it be wet and windy? I'll have your complete precision storm team forecast.
I'm Monte Turner along with Liza Brunk and meteorologist John Keys. This is Montana Today.
You're watching NBC Montana, the news leader, with Monte Turner, Liza Brunk, and John Keys. This is Montana Today.
Hey, at 5:57, we're on to Thursday. Golly sakes, burning up April as fast as we possibly can.
I know.
What were you saying about the weather again, John?
Well, I was just asking, did you think it was going to be windy and wet or was it going to be warm?
Well, I know what I think.
What?
I wore my coat today.
So
I put my coat away the middle of March. You just
Well,
can't-
yeah.
You should
but
never
that's
put
'cause
that
you
thing
leave
that
it.
far
That's 'cause
away.
You
I guess
leave it
so.
places.
Yeah, I know. That's why I love it. I don't know where the heck I put the deal.
just if we can get through today,
Yeah.
I think you're going to enjoy the weekend and the first part of next week.
Well,
It's
that's
gonna
what you've
be
been saying all
very,
week,
very
and by
nice.
gosh, I think everybody's getting ready for that, too.
Yeah.
A lot of things going on this weekend.
Just one day of yucky weather. And
Yeah, hey, it's not even
Not
that
a big
yucky.
deal.
Well, I'll tell you what, no matter what the weather is, we're going to get you ready for golf today. Gene Pauli's in here from Exercise Health Services, and we're going to talk about getting the muscles, this bending, the shaping, everything, so you're not out there
I bet
doing...
those back muscles really take a
well,
beating.
Gene's going to show that.
Does he have any tips to get rid of blisters?
Oh.
No, maybe preventive before that happens.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be so you're not so sore when you come off, and
I
maybe it'll
see.
even help with a slice or a dice on that way, too. Plus, as we mentioned, lots of bugs are here.
I know.
There's an entomologist big festival taking place.
Oh, gosh. John.
Kids, you'll get to see them. They are. Mike Ivey's here from Bozeman, from MSU, and we're going to get to play with them right here. They are. They're actually
so,
gorgeous creatures.
There's
If
one
you don't
crawling
see
in her
me-
coffee,
Very
too.
funny. So if you don't see me the rest of the morning once he's on, you'll know why.
The bugs got her. And from JW Genesis, or GW Genesis, Roger Stromberg is here. We're going to talk about the stock market, what happened on Tuesday, what's that going to do to Montana, if anything, maybe a little bit about Montana Power, and also the overvaluing of tech stocks, because now we're starting to see a difference. They've just gone up, but now they're starting to do what a lot of people have predicted, falter back and forth.
Right,
So,
back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah,
Little
so-
roller coaster of stock market
Exactly.
we've got going on these days.
exactly. See what the heck that could be around here. What are we going to be doing in the classroom during severe weather week?
Well, I'll pose another question. What do you think the #1 weather-related killer in the United States is?
Cheeseburgers. What?
Not weather-related.
What?
Flash flooding. We're going to
Flash
talk
flooding.
about flash flooding
Really?
today. So.
Oh, good.
Huh.
You know, I know that's real big, like in New Mexico and Arizona, where it hits and it doesn't soak into the ground very well.
Well, we've had quite a few flash flooding events, not necessarily in the past few years. Quite of the top events of the 20th century were back in the middle part of the last century, and that included a lot of flash floods, especially in the central and eastern parts of the state.
Wonderful.
So,
Okay, well, let's get shaking on that. Find out more from John right after the first news from Liza Brunk.
Thank you, Monty. Good morning, everyone. Missoula police are investigating an accident that put one driver and his vehicle in the Rattlesnake Creek last night. They say a 23-year-old man drove off the road near the intersection of Spruce and Madison in Missoula. That's when he ended up in the creek. The driver was taken to St. Patrick Hospital with minor injuries, but he was later discharged. Police are investigating the incident for possible charges against the driver. Governor Roscoe will decide by Monday if the special legislative session should determine if Montana Power Company must share any profits from the sale of its energy holdings with its customers. MPC officials have said their stockholders, not the customers, should benefit from future profits. The special session is set to begin May 8th. The Senate asbestos bill is apparently dead. Yesterday, Republican leaders left the bill committee and indicated it would not come to the Senate floor anytime this year. The bill started a storm of political attack ads in Montana. It was supposed to speed up the process in which asbestos victims would receive damages, but was criticized for limiting the rights of victims. A motion to throw out a murder charge is taking center stage in a Flathead Valley courtroom. Josh Lavin is accused of shooting his girlfriend Heather Smith last summer. His attorney, Don Vernay, is asking the court to dismiss the charge because of a mix-up at the state crime lab. The lab failed to test the alleged murder weapon for fingerprints. Vernay says a fingerprint test is vital to the case because it could establish who held the gun at the time of the shooting. County prosecutor Tom Esch says the test does not matter because Heather Smith touched the gun on a number of occasions prior to her death. Vernay only learned last week that prints weren't taken.
She informed me that she was holding on to her report because she hadn't received the handgun to test. And that was the first that I had realized that the handgun had not been in her possession for latent prints.
In other news this morning, he allegedly led police on a high-speed chase through Kalispell and Big Fork. And yesterday, Clyde Vena appeared in court. 27-year-old Vena is charged with felony criminal endangerment. The chase started in Big Fork after a sheriff's deputy attempted to stop the suspect for suspicion of drug trafficking. A highway patrol officer was taken to the hospital after he lost control of his vehicle and landed in a ditch during the chase. Vena is being held on $50,000. Some ominous testimony in the murder trial of gambling figure Ted Binion. A friend of Sandra Murphy, as well as a former Neiman Marcus employee, took the stand yesterday. Murphy and Missoula contractor Rick Tabish are on trial for the 1998 killing. Manicurist Deanna Perry testified yesterday that Sandra Murphy told her Binion would die of a heroin overdose. Binion was dead within a week of the discussion. Perry said Murphy talked of an affair with boyfriend Rick Tabish. Well, did you know that the popular game show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was filmed in Missoula yesterday? Well, almost. Well, we were on location for the production of Who Wants to Be Tobacco Free? Here's Virginia Kerr.
What's your final answer?
Regis Philbin looks almost 50 years younger today. Or maybe that's DeSmet school student Evan Francis.
What % of people diagnosed with lung cancer die within 5 years?
In front of a captive audience, middle schoolers are put to the tobacco test. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire style?
I'm going to ask the audience.
Contestants have to win fastest finger to take the chair. They have 3 lifelines, 50-50, ask the audience, and phone a friend.
I'll go with that answer. What's your final answer? Yes, you're correct.
The questions are from health class, and if you don't know the answer,
You're incorrect.
everyone in school finds out. But if you're right, the crowd goes wild, and you win not $1 million or even $1, but prizes that say 7 out of 10 Montana teens are tobacco-free. After all, it is Kick Butts Day. And that's just what DeSmet students are doing. In Missoula, Virginia Kerr reporting.
And the students put on a live tobacco-free commercials between each segment. Some creative kids there. It is 6:04, and we'll turn now to John Keys for Precision Storm Team Weather. John.
Well, thanks, Liza. Good morning, everyone. Temperatures in southwestern west central Montana in the 30s, 38 Missoula, 39 in Butte. Already very warm in Salmon at 46, 37 at Lewistown. The coldest temperatures northeastern and east central Montana, 28 at Glendive, 29 at Glasgow. On Precision next, Rad, we have some light activity in central Montana. Most of this is falling as virga. Precipitation not reaching the ground. The lower levels are very dry this morning, and a lot of that evaporating before it reaches the ground. We have some activity now falling in the mountains, the Mission Mountains, through the Sapphires, back through the Bitterroots, the Clearwaters, and it's changing over to some very light rain in the central Idaho Panhandle back into eastern Washington. Not a lot of precipitation being reported. It is, like I said, very dry at the surface. And on the satellite picture, a weak disturbance out of southern Saskatchewan stretching through southwestern Montana, moving through. The main energy now entering western Washington. We have an area of showers now developing. Ahead of that, like I said, it's going to take a while for the lower levels of the atmosphere to moisten up and that precipitation to reach some of the lower valleys this morning. If we do see anything, we'll see some light snow and rain flurries mixed, and then we'll see that activity picking up later on this afternoon. Lake wind advisory for the Flathead Lake area, also Lake Koocanusa for winds gusting later on this afternoon and through the early evening for 20 to 40 mile-an-hour winds. Snow levels of around 3,000 to 3,500 feet, 1 to 3 inches above those snow levels. In the mid-40s for your afternoon highs, very gusty winds, gusting closer to 40, especially around any showers that develop this afternoon. 44 in Butte, 48 in Hamilton, and in Helena, 50 in Salmon this afternoon. So the temperature's not going up too much more. 46 West Yellowstone, 48 in Bozeman, 54 in Idaho Falls. And the 5-day forecast is going to show you that after today, that conditions are just going to turn out really nice. Tomorrow in the 50s, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, temperatures back up into the upper 60s and lower 70s. And Sunday into Monday, we're still looking at the very slight possibility of a storm system sneaking into southern Montana, but I don't think it's going to do much, if anything. If it does come this far north, I think for the most part it'll stay south of us.
Looks like the nicest weekend of the new millennium coming up on us.
Definitely.
It does with that. Good. Thank you, John. Hey, what are we going to do? We're going around the world here in a few moments.
We sure are. And today might be a little chilly, but the rest of the weekend's going to be pretty warm. But how about another warm place?
Where?
Well, we all know Florida is a great place for warm vacations.
Aye, that it is.
It sure is. But how about a little history lesson, too?
Okay.
Travel news is next, right here on Montana Today.
Time for the sun to shine. Time for a brand new world. It's a sign of the times, and I hope that I won't have to wait much longer.
This is Mike from M&M Auto Sales and Consignment, Montana's largest trailer dealer. Whatever size trailer you need, we have it ready to deliver, from car haulers to snowmobile size. If you want to buy, sell, trade, or consign your car, M&M Auto Sales is the place to be. You can count on us. We've been here for 11 years. M&M Auto Sales, the working man's store.
Tonight, after Friends, it's America's #1 new comedy. An all-new episode of Daddy-O. Then Frasier's leaving radio to become a television talk show host.
It's the final step in your descent from legitimate psychiatrist to dancing bear.
Oh, come on. Maybe it'll be really classy.
It's Bobo, the cooking chimp.
And again, maybe it won't. There's an all-new Battery Park. Plus, an all-new episode of ER where everything goes wrong. It's all must-see TV, NBC tonight.
Get your weather on the news at 6 and 10 on KECI 13, the news leader.
It's 6:09. A new survey says that Florida remains the #1 choice for spring vacationing in the United States. Lots of college-age youngsters simply want sun and sand during spring break. But travel reporter Vicki Liviakis says the city of St. Augustine has become a favorite with families interested in historic holidays.
Adelante, marching.
In St. Augustine, Florida, the Spanish still fight the British. This is America's oldest city, a colonial town that's been locked in time.
Please cover your ears. Fuego!
The city gates are part of a defense wall that once surrounded St. Augustine. Well, today, this entryway is all that remains of that wall. But walk through it, and you'll discover nearly 500 years of fascinating history. Starting with the explorer Ponce de Leon. He came to St. Augustine in 1513, searching for the fountain of youth. Today, you can retrace his steps and sample some of the legendary liquid. So, does it work?
Sure it does. I'm 106.
An easy way to take in all the sights, St. Augustine Historical Tours. For $12, you can hop on and off throughout the day at more than a dozen attractions. Like historic St. George Street, where you'll find the Spanish Quarter. Here, costume settlers create a living history village.
It gives them the opportunity to feel, see, even smell what it was like at that time.
Where they pretend like they really are here all the time. They actually sleep here and live the way they lived back then. I think it's really neat.
Down the street, the oldest wooden schoolhouse. St. Augustine can lay claim to many American originals, including the oldest house. A visit to St. Augustine is a journey back in time. This is one city that's quite content to live in the past.
Wow, and it certainly is beautiful there as well. Well, it is 6:10, and we'll turn now to John Keys in the Precision Storm Team Weather Center for a peek at today's travel forecast. John.
Well, it will be windy, especially later on this afternoon. We will also have some rain and snow showers. The wind's more gusty right around those showers, especially this afternoon when we get some of the warmer temperatures with the cooler air aloft moving in. Let's go ahead and take a look at temperatures right now across Big Sky Country. 36 Kalispell and Butte, 38 Missoula and Bozeman, 45 in Salmon. Generally 30s, a few upper 20s in extreme east central and northeastern Montana this morning. Precision X-Rad, most of the activity east of the Continental Divide is not reaching the ground or Virga, precipitation evaporating. We're starting to see a little snow activity in the mountains of west central Montana. We're starting to see a rain-snow mix starting to fall in some of the locations in the Idaho Panhandle and eastern Washington. And for today, scattered rain and snow showers, windy conditions, highs in the upper 40s to around mid-50s this afternoon. But if you can hold on for today, the forecast for the weekend is looking very, very nice. We'll have a complete forecast in a couple of minutes. Back to you, Monty.
Oh, you're going to make everybody happy with that weekend forecast. I can tell you that, John. It is what? It looks to be 12 minutes after 6 o'clock. It's Thursday morning. We're on April 6th. We're burning it up. And in a couple of moments, bugs. Mike Ivey, Dr. Mike Ivey, I'll say, from MSU, an entomologist, is here. He was here last year with these gorgeous bugs. We're going to talk about a festival and have a little fun with him right here in 2 minutes on Montana Today.
Let me loan you my ears so that you can hear very clearly the message that we have for you concerning your health insurance needs. Simply stated, the MMBP's philosophy on health insurance is that very healthy people should pay less for their insurance coverage than people that are less healthy. If this concept of health insurance is appealing to you and you are one of the many very healthy Montanans who do not presently have health insurance or feel you are paying too much for your present insurance, please give the MMBP a call at 1-800-955-4242.
From Flathead Lake to Fort Peck Lake, it's truck season in Ford country. And out here, people drive the only line of trucks as diverse as the terrain. Ford trucks, the most complete line of four-door trucks anywhere. Because up here in Montana, there's always different work to be done and different ways to have fun. So check out the most versatile line of trucks around, starting as low as $242 a month during truck season at your Montana Ford store.
Imagine the potential impact of bad breath. Fortunately, there's Breath Remedy tongue spray with Orasan. You see, Breath Remedy isn't just a cover-up like some of those other breath sprays. Instead, Breath Remedy gets to the root of the problem by neutralizing those sulfur compounds, or VSCs, that cause bad breath. Breath Remedy. For fresh breath that lasts.
Breath Remedy is available at Rite Aid, Target, and Walgreens.
Hey, welcome back to Montana Today. Well, I'll tell you what, we got a lot going on this morning. First, we're going to be taking a look at how to get you in shape for golf. That's going to be coming up a little bit with Gene Pollack. Roger Stromberg's also going to be in here. We're looking at tech stocks. But right now, Mike Ivey from MSU made it all the way over. Good to see you again, friend.
How you doing?
How have you been?
Good.
You brought some friends with you today.
Yep. Yeah, we brought quite a little selection today.
Tell me who this is. You're picking that fill up. Tell me what we have here.
That's an African millipede that's from the rainforests of Central Africa. And that's one of the animals that's going to be on display at our Bug Fest.
Let me try it.
That's one that's really fun. A lot of people like to hold it because it, well, you know, it feels kind of like, what, like a plastic toy?
It does. It feels just like a plastic toy here.
But it has the extra advantage of tickling you with all those legs.
Look at him go. Who's on your arm over here, Mike?
This is one of our giant walking sticks that we're going to have on display. We have 2 species that are with us today. We'll have 3 at the show. These came to us courtesy of the Smithsonian.
Oh, really? Just on loan?
Insect Zoo. They're on loan to us. And this guy here, if I can get him to move a little bit, is quite a spectacular animal.
But all of these are.
Yeah.
You know, all of these are. You know, we used to say creepy bugs, but they're beautiful creatures of God. They are at that. How old are these, would you say? You got to age these?
These are, the walking sticks are about probably getting close to a year now.
Are they?
And because it takes them 6 months to become an adult, and then they live about a year after that.
Oh.
Interestingly enough, once they lay eggs, the egg takes at least a year to hatch.
Oh, it's a long timer then, huh?
So, yeah.
Well,
you can see there's 2 different species.
Two different species. Yeah, you can see the different colors there on the screen. Beautiful. They are at that. Now, is there a possibility we can look at some other guys while we're talking?
Why don't you just put that one down?
Okay, can I take a little
plastic
fella off here? And
this is one of our cactus beetles.
Okay.
This is one that we can...
Should I put him in here?
Yeah, whoops. He's got a little cactus juice on him there.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
That's not a problem. That's not a problem. Can you see that guy there? Where does he come from?
Now, that one's from Arizona, New Mexico, Texas.
Okay.
It feeds in the pads of prickly pear cactus. And in fact, we just get cactus right out of grocery stores mailed to us.
You do?
And he feeds on that.
Well, look at him go at this. What is the Bug Fest about?
Well, 2 years ago, or in about a year and a half ago, we had our centennial of the entomology department at Montana State, and we had what we called the insectennial. And we thought it would be a one-time event, but we had such a great turnout. We had over 4,000 people show up.
Oh, my gosh.
And we've had so many demands for a repeat from teachers. These guys do not want, they like me this morning.
I just see that.
And Okay, now be careful. You pick him up like that, and he'll spine you.
Will he?
Yeah.
I thought we were getting along quite well.
We had some, especially from teachers, that we have decided to redo it. And of course, we can't call it an insectennial again because it's not a centennial. But we're going to call it Bug Fest.
When is it?
It is next week. We have 2,000 Montana school kids lined up to come. Every time we set our dates, we had to expand it, and we still have so many on the waiting list. It's kind of sad. But we have Monday through Friday, we have reservations for school children from as far away as St. Regis and Lewistown.
Coming over on a bus to MSU.
Coming on a bus to MSU. And then on Saturday, we have an open public day. Last year, we had 2,400 people come on Saturday. And in the event, we'll not only have these guys that you can look at and in some cases even hold and pet.
Some of these beautiful animals.
But we'll also have about 500 butterflies free-flying in the Plant Growth Center.
Oh, my.
And there'll be everything from the big flashy morphos to some smaller, subtler things. And my favorite, we have special flown in from Malaysia. We have some of the giant Asian swallowtails.
What a,
I love those. And we have an ant farm and displays of insects from around the world from the
And that's what the T-shirt's all about?
Yeah, we have a couple of T-shirts.
Oh, boy,
And,
Bug Fest 2000. MSU is the happening place.
Yeah.
It is at that, Mike. I wish we could show the rest of our friends here. Real quickly, who else was this?
This is a vinegaroon.
Okay.
And it's probably one of those categories of really ugly but incredibly harmless things.
Okay. Those guys and a bunch of other ones.
Right.
It's all next weekend at MSU. Thank you so much, Mike.
All right.
Can't thank you enough for bringing them over here, all right? All right, Jonathan, tell us about the weather. Let's talk about that for a moment.
Well, I don't know if the bugs will like today's weather. They'll certainly be enjoying the weekend. They can go out and play in the sun later on this weekend, even tomorrow, as a matter of fact. Let's go ahead and take a look at temperatures, though, right now. We're in the 30s for the most part, 40 south and west of us, 47 Boise, 46 in Portland. Cooler off to these, 24 at Williston, North Dakota. Precision X-Rad, most of this activity east of the Continental Divide falling as virga precipitation evaporating before it reaches the ground. Some light snow showers now in the mountains of west central Montana. We're starting to see a rain-snow mix in parts of the Idaho Panhandle, eastern Washington. Upper level disturbance moving on shore now across the Puget Sound into northwestern Washington. A weak disturbance now moving through central Montana. The big system is the one that's entering the coastal areas right now. We do have a lake wind advisory for Lake Koocanusa, also Flathead Lake through this afternoon and early evening for winds gusting as high as 40 miles an hour out of the west, and the higher gusts will occur especially around any rain or snow showers later on this afternoon. Full forecast, including the weekend, in just a minute. Back to you, Monty.
Thank you, John. It's 6:20, 20 minutes after 6. Still to come, Mr. Food. Now, if you're about to have breakfast, before you pour that bowl of cereal, take a peek at what he's got for you for breakfast. He's next on Montana Today.
What happens when you question everything? 3 great wireless companies can become one even better wireless company. Simple, affordable, national. Bell Atlantic Mobile, AirTouch Cellular, and Primeco have become Verizon Wireless. Join in.
She promised to be nice.
So nice it'll make you nauseous.
They all thought she'd changed. Looks like the old Sammy is back.
The only chance I have of getting my son back is to play even dirtier than Lucas.
She's desperate.
I'm living on borrowed time.
Willing to risk everything.
I need to do one little thing.
Sammy, you're up to your old tricks, aren't you?
Even the man she loves.
What would Austin think if he knew what you were up to?
You're not going to tell him, are you?
Days of our lives.
The Hollywood Reporter says the Ainsley Harriott Show is fast, breezy, perfect light fare for daytime.
So fabulous.
USA Today raves there's no one like him on TV.
My pan is having a cardiac arrest.
Clear. Ainsley Harriott sizzles, proclaims the Orlando Sentinel.
Me wine's gone fizzy.
And the Philadelphia Daily News calls Ainsley the tastiest item on the daytime menu.
He likes it.
The Ainsley Harriott Show.
Weekdays at 11 on KECI 13.
Get your weekend sports on the news at 10 on KECI 13, the news leader.
Thursday morning at 6:22, you know, everywhere you go nowadays, there are breakfast buffets and breakfast bars. Well, Mr. Food says you can have one in your own kitchen, and all it takes is a common appliance that's making a comeback.
During spring cleaning, I came across my old waffle iron that brought back a lot of memories of waffles, crispy on the outside, tender on the inside. You know, today, a lot of us just pop the ready-made frozen varieties in the oven or the toaster, you know, to heat up and done. And yes, they're good. But, you know, it's just not the same. And there's really nothing hard about using one of these electric ones. As a matter of fact, it's a lot of fun. Well, after preheating the waffle grill, it only takes about 90 seconds to each mouth-watering waffle. You see, we can have homemade in a hurry, and they come in different brands and sizes and shapes, triangular, round, square, heart-shaped for the sweetheart. There are ones with browning controls and steam shields and non-stick coatings. And over here, look, Belgian waffle makers. They have even deeper pockets, which give us more of the crispy. So just as quickly as we'd make our own pancakes for French toast, we can turn out hot, fresh-tasting, I-made-it-myself waffles. And yes, butter and syrup is our favorite way. But we can also spark them up with a sprinkle of powdered sugar or some sliced berries or bananas or whatever's in season. And they can be a light lunch made by topping them with creamed chicken or turkey, or a to-die-for dessert with a scoop of ice cream and a dollop of whipped topping. Am I glad spring cleaning turned up an old friend? That means loads more. Ooh, it's so good.
Ooh, yeah, that really does look good. You know, ooh, that looks good. No, I don't want that one. I like that one. I want the one with the gravy on it.
I want the one with the ice cream on it. Although that would make me sick.
I'll take any of it.
I know. Actually, I probably would, too. 23 minutes after 6 o'clock. What's going on in the classroom?
We're going to talk about flash floods, the #1 weather-related killer in the United States.
Okay, that it is. And this is Severe Weather Week. That's why John's bringing all this to our attention. Gene Paulite is in the studio. He's going to help us get ready for the golf season. If you've been out there and you're a little stiff and sore, I think we can help you out on that, or at least Gene can. Plus, Roger Stromberg's going to be here. We're going to look at tech stocks. There's something strange happening, and I think it's time we all take a look at it a little closer.
Yeah,
I've got some dough in these tech stocks. Now, I'm getting a little shaky on that, too. Liza, you've got a lot to share with us also.
Yeah, in fact, we're also going to talk about Yahoo and some of the issues that it has had in the last several months and some of the things going on with that.
Well, Yahoo.
That's coming up in business news
Alrighty.
this morning.
We'll take a Yahoo break and be back in 2 minutes with Montana News and Montana Weather on Montana Today.
Did you know the same exact medicine manufactured by the same American pharmaceutical company costs American consumers twice as much as in Canada and 3 times more than in Mexico?
Why?
The drug industry gives Washington politicians millions, and they let the drug industry rip off consumers.
Join Brian Schweitzer's crusade to embarrass Congress into action and lower prescription prices.
People say, oh, boy, one little group like this, we can't change Congress. You watch us.
George dates a convict.
And the best part is, if things go really well,
Conjugal visit?
dog things sit done.
While Kramer's pet poultry is waking up the city.
That is not chicken. You picked out a rooster. Well, that would explain little Jerry's poor egg production.
And Elaine's boyfriend is a skinhead.
He just shaves his head for no reason? That's like using a wheelchair for the fun of it.
On the next episode of Seinfeld.
Weeknights at 6:30 on KECI 13.
Paul's bank thinks he's been canceled permanently.
It says here that you died 2 days ago. I'm so sorry.
And now they're both dead broke.
Did you find any money?
4 dimes and a Necco wafer.
When did you buy Necco wafers?
1972.
Somehow, life goes on.
You must be devastated. Easy come, easy go.
On the next Mad About You.
Weekdays at 5 on KECI 13.
Hey, 26 minutes after 6 on Thursday morning. John, what are we going to do for weather? We've had wind, we've had rain, we've had sunshine all week. What are we going to do?
Well, we're going to have a repeat of the wet and windy forecast today, but after that, I think it'll go away for a while.
All right, John's got a really good-looking forecast he'll share.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad at all.
Doesn't it, Liza? Oh, it's sandal time. He'll share that with us right after the news from Liza Brunk.
Thank you, Monty. Good morning again, everyone. In Washington, D.C., the National Parks Conservation Association is calling Yellowstone the most endangered national park in the country. The group pointed to damage caused by snowmobiles and called the situation a, quote, national embarrassment. But on the same day, a letter made public in which 5 counties went on record opposing a ban on snowmobiling in Yellowstone. The letter to the Interior Department was signed by officials from Gallatin and Park counties in Montana, and 3 counties in Wyoming. The Park Service is considering a ban on snowmobiling in Yellowstone and Grand Teton Park. Congressional controversy over Glacier Park. Republicans Rick Hill and Conrad Burns attacked Interior Secretary Bruce Babbitt for saying many glacier hotels should be torn down. Babbitt made the statement as one potential solution because there may not be enough money to fix the hotel. Well, there's a new sheriff in town, or at least there will be soon. Butte-Silver Bow Sheriff John McPherson says he will retire at the end of the week because of diabetes-related health problems. McPherson made the announcement last night. His retirement is effective at 5 p.m. tomorrow. McPherson spent 30 years in Butte-Silver Bow law enforcement. He says Under Sheriff Bob Butovich will replace him until a formal decision is made by county officials. You are thousands of feet above the ground. Your heart is racing, and it seems like the world is on fire as you prepare for your descent. Some harrowing moments for anyone, but for Montana's elite group of smoke jumpers, it's all in a day's work. That's because these jumpers are prepared, training for 2 weeks every year. NBC Montana's Jennifer Huntley gives us an inside look into their training as they get ready to fight fires and save lives.
Clear. Okay, you're clear. Okay, get ready.
Monday afternoon, a fire is raging in Yellowstone National Park, and you have to put it out.
You're looking at the situation from the air. If you're the first guy out the door, it can make a whole lot of difference.
You size up the situation.
What's on the ground, what's out there.
And go in.
Get ready.
But this Monday afternoon, it's just a drill. These smoke jumpers are practicing what they will do the next time duty calls.
Each course represents a different situation that the smoke jumper could be encountered with. At this obstacle course, smoke jumpers are learning what to do if their parachute gets caught in a tree.
Dr. Jiggs Parker is one smoke jumper here who looks like he needs no refresher training. He's been jumping in West Yellowstone for 25 years.
Over the years, you learn to have a lot of respect for the equipment, learn to respect the people that put it together. We have a lot of good women jumpers and a lot of good men.
It is the camaraderie that keeps Jiggs coming back year after year.
It's a very professional group.
As these jumpers meet, regroup,
Nice, very nice.
and get ready for the next time when the jump's for real. In Missoula, Jennifer Huntley reporting.
And this week's training is for experienced smoke jumpers. The rookies will train later this spring. That's a look at your news this morning. It's 6:29. We'll turn now to John Keys for Precision Storm Team Weather. John.
Thanks, Liza. Good morning, everyone. Temperatures in the mid to upper 30s, 36 Butte, Kalispell, 38 Missoula and Bozeman. A bit chillier in Cutbank at 30, 37 Lewistown, 29 in Glasgow. One of the warmer spots in the area, 45 in Salmon. On Precision X-ray, we do have some scattered light activity. Most of this east of the divide falling as virga or precipitation evaporating before it reaches the ground. We're probably seeing a mixture of rain and snow showers starting to fall down the Mission Mountains through the Sapphires. Back through the Bitterroots, we're starting to see some rain and snow mix. Very light as you head back through Coeur d'Alene, Lookout Pass, back towards the Spokane area as well. And on the satellite picture, here comes the ridge of high pressure for the weekend, but first we have to deal with this disturbance. You can see the little circulation here moving right through the Puget Sound, right into northwestern Washington. A very weak disturbance moving through central Montana. That's what's creating the mid to high level cloudiness across most of the state this morning. Now here's your forecast starting at 6 o'clock. Stationary front through the extreme northeastern corner of the state. A weak area of low pressure, that disturbance with the trough of low pressure moving through eastern Montana. And that system will quickly scoot on out of here. And by tomorrow morning into tomorrow afternoon, a warm front coming through, ridge of high pressure building in. Any precipitation will stay north of the border tomorrow. We do have a lake wind advisory in effect for Flathead Lake, Lake Koocanusa as well for earlier on this morning into the early evening for winds gusting as high as 40 miles an hour. Your forecast for today, 1 to 3 inches of snow possible above 3,000 to 3,500 feet, 45 in Libby, 46 in Polson, 47 in Kalispell. All this will be decreasing tonight, and where we don't see the showers, we'll see mostly cloudy skies for southwestern Montana, parts of the Bitterroot Valley, 48 in Hamilton, 47 in Dillon, a bit chillier in Butte at 44 degrees. They will probably see all snow in terms of any precipitation later on today. 48 in Bozeman, 54 in Idaho Falls. Once again, winds gusting as high to 30 and 40 miles an hour, especially around any showers. And for tomorrow, we'll be back into the 50s and then the mid to upper 60s, some lower 70s throughout the weekend. And hopefully a fly in the ointment that may appear Sunday won't happen. We're looking at the possibility of a storm system sneaking its way into southern Montana, but I'm banking on that system passing off through Utah and Nevada, so I think we'll see very nice weather all weekend long.
Okay, you're banking on it. We're banking on you.
All right.
All right, well, I'll go to the bank on that one. 6:32, 28 minutes away from 7 o'clock. We've got Weather 101 coming up and plenty more to talk about it. As a matter of fact, we're going to turn it over to Liza in 2 minutes.
We sure are. Elian Gonzalez's father is now in the United States, and we'll have the complete details on that in Top Stories coming up in 2 minutes right here on Montana Today.
Our mission was to find the biggest cereal sale ever in the known universe. And this Thursday, it will be discovered. The Rosars 13-hour cereal sale. This Thursday, Rosars does it again by putting your favorite cereals on sale with prices as low as $1.59 a box. Look for out-of-this-world savings in your Wednesday newspaper, including ways you can get free milk, free eggs, and $5 in free groceries. The Rosars 13-hour cereal sale. This Thursday only at Rosars.
Look at that. Staples has overnight delivery.
Oh, let me see.
Wow, you're right. Hey, look.
Guaranteed low prices. Slow down. Staples delivers.
And you can order online.
This traffic's terrible.
Yep. Like this every single day.
That's really weird.
Need office products delivered overnight? Yeah, we got that. Call 1-800-STAPLES.
Look who's live. What's new with Return to Me star Bonnie Hunt?
Well, tell us when you were going crazy.
Well, I just might.
Plus Bob Costas on the Emmy-nominated
Oh, stop!
Regis and Kathy Lee.
Weekdays at 9 on KECI 13.
Tommy Lee Jones and Samuel L. Jackson in Rules of Engagement.
I think they're out to crucify you.
And David Duchovny in Return to Me. Thumbs up or thumbs down this week on Roger Ebert and the Movies.
Saturday afternoon at 4 on KECI 13.
It's 6:34. Time now for your top stories for this Thursday, April 6th, 2000. Elian Gonzalez's father arrived in Washington, D.C. this morning. Juan Miguel Gonzalez, his wife, and their infant son all left Cuba earlier today, hoping to regain custody of 6-year-old Elian. Their plane touched down at Dulles Airport about 6:35 a.m. Eastern Time. Gonzalez says he expects U.S. immigration officials to transfer custody of Elian to him as soon as he sets foot on American soil. A federal judge has set May 24th as a hearing date to determine sanctions against Microsoft for violating antitrust laws. The Justice Department has given Microsoft until April 28th to submit their recommendations for their possible penalties. U.S. District Judge Thomas Penfield Jackson also met with attorneys yesterday to discuss how to prevent Microsoft from future violations of federal antitrust law. 2 Russian cosmonauts have linked up with the aging Mir space station. Mir has been circling the Earth unmanned for 8 months. The cosmonauts lifted off on Tuesday and docked with the space station today on autopilot. The last crew to man the space station returned to Earth in August when the cash-strapped Russian space program decided to get rid of the 14-year-old orbiter. It's 6:35 in business news. A rare bit of good news for the beleaguered internet sector, which has taken a beating in the past week. Liz Clayman has the latest from CNBC.
Liz Clayman, tech bellwether Yahoo rolled out its first quarter earnings after Wednesday's closing bell, and they topped analyst estimates. The internet portal earned 10 cents a share, beating expectations by a penny. Revenues rose 120% to more than $228 million. Yahoo, by the way, is one of the few profitable internet companies today. One of the reasons for Yahoo's strong growth is its aggressive expansion into overseas markets. We will see if Yahoo has any impact on the U.S. markets today. As for yesterday's session, the NASDAQ bounced back a bit after 2 days of heavy losses, but the blue chips slid for the second straight day. The Dow Jones Industrials fell about 131 points to 11,033. The NASDAQ gained 20 1/3 to 41.69 on more than 2 billion shares changing hands. The S&P 500 slipped more than 7 points. Some items to watch for today. Weekly jobless claims are due out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Wholesale trade figures for February are released at 10 a.m. In earnings news, we get numbers from the first Dow component to report, aluminum maker Alcoa, and we'll hear from electronics retailer Circuit City. The judge in the Microsoft case has set a May 24th hearing date to determine what punishment the company should face for violating antitrust laws. Meanwhile, Republican lawmakers are calling for a probe into whether the Justice Department was overzealous in its prosecution collaboration with Microsoft. They say they plan to make this a political issue, linking the case to Vice President Al Gore. General Motors plans to offer wireless phone service as a built-in option on its cars and trucks by the end of this year. The cellular service, being provided by Bell Atlantic and GTE, will be part of GM's OnStar system. It will be voice-controlled so drivers can keep their eyes on the road. Customers will push a button on the dash, then say dial, and then the phone number. GM says the cost of the service will be comparable to other national plans. That's a quick look at business news from CNBC. I'm Liz Clayman.
It's 6:37. Let's turn now to John Keyes in the Precision Storm Team Weather Center for another peek at today's weather. John.
Well, I think today things will be in very good shape in terms of if you want rain or snow or winds, but I don't think most people are looking for that. They will be looking forward to the sunshine for the weekend. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's going across the country nationally. Chillier weather through the northern plains into the Colorado Rockies, the foothills of the Rockies, 37 Denver, 21 in Bismarck, 60 in New Orleans, 66 in Brownsville. On the satellite picture, one upper-level storm moving through the Great Lakes area, moving into the northeast, frontal system trailing back through the central plains, back into the central Rockies, and our system entering the northwest coast. That is bringing the next batch of rain and snow for our forecast later on this afternoon. Our weather art for today brought to us by another wonderful student at Gold Creek Elementary School in Gold Creek, and that is from Ben. And there we go. It's a picture of a tornado picking up things and throwing them around, just like in the southern plains. I don't think we'll be seeing tornadoes around here today. If we are, something's wrong with the weather forecast. We'll have that and a little bit more coming up in just a bit. Back to you, Liza.
Thanks, John. Now we're getting to sports. It's 6:38, and it is a new year and a new coaching staff for the Grizz football team. Todd Reed checks in with the team at a preseason practice session.
Thanks, Liza. Good morning, everyone. The Montana Grizzly football team continuing with spring football practice. The Grizz 3 practices into their allotted number of 15. One of the things head coach Joe Glenn and his staff has to do, mold with the new players. Well, Drew Miller says that since spring ball has started, everything's going just fine.
You know, things are going great. I think the team's adjusting to the coaching change very well. Very upbeat, motivating. Guys are out here having a lot of fun, and that's what it's all about. Just learning right now, you know, trying to get better and using last season as a stepping stone.
We've got great competition going. I think I see tremendous competition at the linebacker spots, and as well as throughout the team. But I think we've got about 13 linebackers that we feel can play. And, of course, that helps Coach Knutson in special teams a bunch, but it makes the competition at all three linebacking spots really keen. So, yeah, everybody's competing, not only just for maybe a starting spot, but, hey, a backup spot on the roster, maybe a shot to get on the bus, on the airplane, those type of things. So, great competition.
Not a tough situation for a head coach to be in when you say have 13 guys that you feel you could start at linebacker. That creates all kinds of depth, and as Coach Glenn said, some great competition. Well, later this morning in Augusta, Georgia, in fact, probably right around now, people teeing off at the Augusta International Golf Club and the Masters. Jack Nicklaus will be back this year after missing last year, and some folks wonder, does the Golden Bear have what it takes to make another run?
I just left the practice range a few minutes ago, and I'm hitting the ball very nicely. I like what I'm doing with the ball, and I feel like I'm playing decently. I don't know who's going to wake up tomorrow, though. I used to know, but I'm not too sure now.
Only when you were younger and more consistent. Jack making those comments last evening after finishing up his final preparations for the Masters. We'll have highlights coming up for you later today. That's a wrap in sports for you this morning. We've got a whole lot of scores to take a look at.
Love dancing to that little music there. 6:41, 19 minutes away from 7 o'clock. Roger Stromberg in a moment. From JW Genesis, Tech Stocks, the NASDAQ fall. Let's see what it's all about on Montana Today.
Don't you wish everything was as dependable as a Chevy?
Right now, you can find these offers on Chevy cars. Get $1,000 cash back on a 2000 Malibu. And act before April 30th and get $1,750 cash back on a 2000 Cavalier Coupe or sedan. So, want a car you can depend on? See your Chevy dealer today. Chevy. We'll be there.
Don't be left in the dark. At Boyce Design, we offer the best in lighting for your home. From floor and table lamps to hanging lights and chandeliers, you'll find what you need in our wide variety of beautiful lights and unique cabinets. Boyce Design has the finest in kitchen cabinetry. Browse through our many displays and find what you want for your home. Boyce Design, fine kitchen cabinetry and lighting store in Hamilton.
Tonight, after Friends, it's America's #1 new comedy. An all-new episode of Daddy-O. Then Frasier's leaving radio to become a television talk show host.
It's the final step in your descent from legitimate psychiatrist to dancing bear.
Oh, come on. Maybe it'll be really classy.
It's Bobo, the cooking chimp.
And again, maybe it won't. There's an all-new Battery Park. Plus, an all-new episode of ER where everything goes wrong. It's all must-see TV, NBC tonight.
Get all your sports on the news at 6 and 10 right here on KECI 13, the news leader.
6:43, 17 minutes away from 7 o'clock tomorrow. Vince Pernicano with venison fajita salad. Ooh, hasta luego. Roger Stromberg, good to see you, friend.
Good morning.
How you been?
Good.
Hey, what happened to the NASDAQ?
Whoa.
This
boy.
was scary. Tuesday
Yes,
was
it
kind of frightening us here.
Quite a day. Quite a down day.
Biggest one-day drop and biggest one-day gain back up.
Yeah, incredible.
What's
Incredible
going on?
Well, actually, you know, it's kind of a carry through what happened in the biotech sector. The expectations and momentums in those stocks, they took them out. Microsoft started it with all the Justice Department, and there was some doubt and concerns, and then it carried into the internet stocks where high expectations, not necessarily the revenues or earnings to back their growth rate up. And boy, they really took care of them quickly.
Let's take a look at some graphics that we've got here, Roger. Maybe you can explain to us what we're looking at here and share with us what you see and what's happened here.
Well, I think
Is that Microsoft?
I think the first one is on Microsoft, and it shows the highs at the end of the year really is where Microsoft was. And you see it coming down the beginning of the year and then back up and then legging back up. The right side of our graph doesn't catch it all, but it got back up over the 112 section, nearing where it was at the end of last year. And really, most of those dips, or any time the J word was spoken, that's Justice Department, caused the dips back. And really, Microsoft, like we say, started it. And if they've got the, I don't know if they've got the chart now on the
NASDAQ, I think.
but
look
on
at
the
that.
right side, it shows what happened really with the NASDAQ. And last year, if you remember, we showed the NASDAQ and the Dow tracking one another. And this chart here shows the NASDAQ really outpacing the Dow, which we've got following this. But the right side doesn't quite catch the full dramatic part of it going down the NASDAQ. And you see what happened to our Dow, how it went down, down, down. Well, the previous chart, the NASDAQ was going up, 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 up. So a lot of analysts out there say that we've experienced a healthy correction. One of the things is that the bottom. When you have such volatility as we did the other day, there's probably going to be more ahead. Whether that's the bottom, as low as it goes, that's kind of the question. A lot of analysts out there feel that, you know, it will bounce back down some more and then go on up again.
Well, now, these charts, is that a year's growth that we were looking at there?
Yes, it was. It was all back into basically May of '99 is where that all started. So it gave us, you know, the last half of '99 was tremendous. And, you know, we started off the new year fine. Right. But then it was like, in margin, there's a lot of people that were buying and leveraging their positions, and that just accentuated the downdraft.
That sure did. Boy, that was scary, but I'm glad we're on recovery. Roger, thanks for being here. JW Genesis, appreciate you being here. Roger Stromberg. Time for the classroom. Tell us about the flash flooding, would you, John?
Well, certainly, Monty. We all think of severe weather in terms of tornadoes, lightning, and hail, and those being the pretty much the storms that tend to have the most injuries and fatalities. That's not the case. We can show you some information on flash flooding. It is the #1 weather-related killer in the United States, averaging between 72 and 91, 146 fatalities per year. That is almost equal to the number of tornado and lightning-related deaths combined. Usually, flash flooding occurs within a few minutes or hours of a heavy rainstorm. You have that also occurring during a sudden release of ice jams or a failure of a dam or levee. You also see that when you have slow-moving thunderstorms, training echoes, where that is one storm moving over the same area, one right after another, or you get the heavy rains with hurricanes and tropical storms. The thing to watch out for, listen for distant thunder. Also watch for rapidly rising water. Do not drive or walk across flooded roadways. All it takes is 2 feet of water to wash your car away, to the water displacing the heaviness and the buoyancy of your car. And definitely don't allow your kids to play near a high water or danger area, because if in times of very heavy rains, they could be suddenly swept away, and that is not a good thing. Tomorrow we're going to talk about lightning. Back to you, Monty.
Absolutely, John. That is not a good thing. That is not to be taken lightly. 6:48, 12 minutes away from 7 o'clock. Let's swing a golf club with Gene Pauley in 2 minutes on Montana Today.
What's a meal to a kid? Something you have to eat to get dessert. But you've grown up. You actually look forward to a meal, especially one like Arby's Roast Chicken Club, with the goodness of slow-roasted chicken. That beats something fried and greasy any day. Plus lettuce, tomato, and pepper bacon for a taste so good, you won't care if there's no room for dessert. The Roast Chicken Club, only at Arby's. Now that your tastes have grown up.
What do I know about performance? What do I know about control? What do I know about grip? Great horsepower! Limited slip, rear differential. Full time, all-wheel drive. But what do we know? We're just girls.
Subaru Forester. Sport utility tough. Car easy.
IRS. Not the tax man. Inventory reduction sale at Taylor's Furniture Warehouse. Taylor's is overstocked with famous Serta bedding. Serta queen size pillow top sets only $3.98, and big discounts on last year's models. IRS. Inventory reduction sale means money in your pocket. Serta twin size just $59 each piece. Serta perfect sleeper pillow top queen set only $4.98, and 12 months same as cash OAC. Don't pass this one by. IRS. At Taylor's Furniture Warehouse, 1947 South Avenue West, Missoula.
Hey, it's 6:49, Thursday morning. We're just 11 minutes away from the Today Show at 7 o'clock. Montana news and weather to come in a couple moments. And The Wizard of Oz tomorrow from MCT. Gene Pauley, Exercise Health Services. How you doing, pal?
Montezuma.
Hey, we're ready for golf.
Yeah.
A lot of people are already out there on the course. You've been golfing a lot already.
A little bit, yeah.
Are you stiff?
No, huh?
Because?
I fitness train.
You fitness train.
That's right.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Apparently Dan Foy, our director, was out with you the other day at one of the golf courses and took some shots, and you're going to kind of tell us what we can do to get ready for this. This is going to eliminate the slicing, and this is going to get your handicap down and everything, right?
Get ready for the incoming.
Oh, you pulling the sign over?
When you're holding that stick in your hand, it's really connected to your upper back by your shoulder blades. So you're going to try and get your upper back, shoulder blades kind of limbered up this way so that you can make that rotation around your torso, around your trunk, and then decelerate the club without pulling the arm bones out of the socket.
Oh.
And here, you get your hands over your head.
Yeah.
The latissimus dorsi, or most people call it the lat.
That's what I call it.
It goes from your upper arm all the way down to the base of your spine. So when you hang on it like that, give a little traction and then also rotation.
Okay.
Take a golf club, get your elbows up to shoulder height, about 90 degree. And you're also rotating, trying to keep your hips square and steady, and make your torso rotate at the level of the belly button up to your chin.
Now, could you use a wood for this, or do you have to use an iron?
Well, yes, you could.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can hit a wood.
All right.
I have to use an iron. That's right.
Okay. Now, here you're a little more vigorous.
Yeah, now I've got my arms straight, and I'm trying to force those shoulder blades together so that they swing freely. And now I can initiate a slight swing.
This is first up at the tee box, obviously.
Exactly.
You're going to clean everybody out there.
It's, golf has been referred to as a set of bodily contortions intended for a graceful result. So, and that's kind of true. And you don't want to impact the small of your back or your torso.
You should do this before each game.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Even before you start to hit a warm-up bucket or putts or anything like that. And here we're just trying to get the rotator cuff a little bit more warmed up, the anterior shoulder or the front part.
Then
switch, and you really don't need to do it much longer than what I'm doing.
Is that right?
Yeah.
This doesn't take very long.
No, it doesn't. You can do it in about 120 seconds, which for you would be 2 minutes.
Good. Thanks for figuring that out.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is just a nice little warm-up exercise. It's going to make you
Right.
feel a lot better out there.
And although you think of it as an upper body game, it really is a game of the hips and the thighs, because your base of support is what initiates the swing. So you want to warm up your hip flexors, your hamstrings, keep that knee bent to begin with. Try to keep the foot down so you get a good stretch all the way from the behind of the knee up through the small of the back. And then you can go to a more vigorous stretch with a straight knee. Try to keep your chin up so that your shoulders don't round out, your back doesn't round out, and that'll take the pressure off the small of your back. Of course, golfers' backs are notorious.
Yeah, they are.
This is one way to prevent any kind of injury. And I'm using a bench here because I'm a walker, but you can also do the same thing off a golf cart if you're not a walker.
Okay.
If you decide to ride. And here we're getting the front part of the thigh and the hips.
Goober in your shoe there.
Yeah, it's still early season out there.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you can make it more aggressive by tilting forward, getting a little bit more of the torso and the thigh together.
Now this is more than 2 minutes here. Now we're probably looking at 5 minutes for the whole workout.
Maybe, yeah.
That's not bad.
Once you practice, it'll be a little bit more expedient. You'll know where your hot spots are and where to address it.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right, let's swing a club.
Get out there.
All right, you bet, Gene. Thank you. Gene Paula, Exercise Health Services, who comes on and helps us, and he guarantees your handicap will drop 6 points on that.
Yeah.
6:52. We're 8 minutes away from 7 o'clock. Here is a JCCS tax relief bag. It's got wonderful little goodies in it. You got to answer the question, however. Every 150 years, you celebrate a silver jubilee, a sequicentennial, or a bicentennial. 1-800-566-8835. Fourth caller, correct answer. You've got the tax relief bag from JCCS in Montana today. We're going to be back in 2 minutes with Montana news and Montana weather on Montana Today.
Food, shelter, heat. Which does your family need least? The Universal System Benefits Charge funds programs to help low-income families pay heating bills and weatherize their homes.
Great, what's cooking?
Because there are questions that have no answer.
Daddy, you should
The USBC on your Montana power bill. It benefits all of us.
Remember your one special teacher, the one that helped you through that tough class, or maybe it was the one that taught you the joy of learning. Well, now you can help honor any teacher who's made a difference in you or your child's life. The Gold Star Award honors excellence in education. Each month, a teacher is profiled right here on KECI 13. All you have to do is send in the name of your favorite teacher and the reason for your choice to Gold Star, Box 5268 in Missoula.
Sponsored by Big Sky Distributors.
Okay, here's the deal. Woody Allen has eyes for Julia Roberts. Her husband showed up.
They have nothing in common.
But he's in love with Goldie Hawn.
Come here, my two.
Who's married to Alan Alda.
As head of this house, I command it.
And if their daughter, Drew Barrymore, is engaged... You ate the ring? What's she doing with an ex-con?
I've never been kissed by a sociopath.
Confused? Well, you won't be after everyone says I love you.
Don't forget to blow on her back. Makes her crazy.
Saturday at midnight on KECI 13.
Get your weather on the news at 6 and 10 on KECI 13, the news leader.
Hey, we're only 5 minutes away from 7 o'clock. Where are you going to set the thermostat today, John?
Well, I don't think I'm going to be able to set it any higher than probably 50 degrees today. But don't worry, we'll be able to crank that puppy up for the weekend.
Okay, we'll see what the weekend's like right after the news from Liza Brunk.
Thank you, Monty. Good morning again, everyone. Missoula police are investigating an accident that put one driver and his vehicle in the Rattlesnake Creek last night. They say a 23-year-old man drove off the road near the intersection of Spruce and Madison in Missoula. That's when he ended up in the creek. The driver was taken to St. Patrick Hospital with minor injuries, but he was later discharged. Police are investigating the incident for possible charges against the driver. Governor Roscoe says he will decide by Monday if the special legislative session should determine if Montana Power Company must share any profits from the sale of its energy holdings with its customers. MPC officials have said their stockholders, not the customers, should benefit from future profits. The special session is set to begin May 8th. The controversial Senate asbestos bill is apparently dead. Republican leaders left the bill committee and indicated it would not come to the Senate floor anytime this year. The bill was supposed to speed up the process in which asbestos victims would receive damages, but was criticized for limiting the rights of victims. That's a look at your news this morning. It's 6:56. We'll turn now to John Keys for Precision Storm Team Weather. John.
Well, thanks, Liza. Good morning, everyone. Temperatures in the mid to upper 30s, 38 Missoula, Bozeman, 36 Kalispell and Butte. One of the warmer spots, 45 at Salmon. Cooler readings in northeastern Montana, 29 in Glasgow, 28 in Glendive. Precision X-Rad, this is in clear air mode. Most of the activity now falling in the mountains here of west central Montana. The darker reds indicating some precipitation, mainly virga or very light sprinkles or flurries. Virga is precipitation that doesn't reach the ground. We might have a little heavier activity moving through Shoshone County here, getting ready to move in to Mineral and Sanders County this morning as well. On the bigger picture, a weak disturbance moving through central Montana. The bigger system now crossing the Puget Sound, moving into the Cascades, creating another batch of showers in eastern Washington and the Idaho Panhandle, western Montana, and most of this activity in eastern Montana, very light or not reaching the ground at all. We do have a lake wind advisory effect for Flathead Lake, Lake Koocanusa for later on this morning through the early evening. Winds west of 20, gusting to high as 40 miles an hour, and the higher gusts occurring especially around the showers. 46 in Kalispell and Polson, 47 in Missoula. Mostly cloudy skies outside the showery areas, those showers decreasing tonight. Snow level staying above 3,000 feet. Mostly cloudy with winds gusting as close to 30 miles an hour with decreasing showers again tonight in southwestern Montana. 44 in Butte, 48 in Bozeman, 47 in Dillon, 48 also in the state capital. And I guess we'll show the 5-day forecast in just a little bit. We're saving all that nice stuff for you.
Why don't we take a break and be back in a minute and show that 5-day forecast. We'll wrap things up on Montana Today.
Ah, the joy of cereal. No matter how you like your cereal, you'll like it even better during Super One Foods' big 12-hour cereal sale. This Thursday only. Your favorite cereals for less. Savor the savings at the big 12-hour cereal sale. This Thursday only at Super One Foods. Bottoms up.
From Big Mountain to Glendive, it's truck season in Ford country, where you'll find the first complete line of four-door trucks, like Ford F-Series, the first full-size pickup to offer four-door standard, the all-new F-150 Super Crew, offering 4 full-size doors, Ford Ranger, the first four-door compact pickup, and the Explorer Sport Track,